am. I am Alexander T. Wolf, but you can call me Al. I don't know how this whole big bad wolf thing got started, but I think it might have to do with our diet. You know, we eat sheep, pigs, little bunny rabbits. They're cute. But you know what? If you ate cheeseburgers, which I know you do, and if people thought cheeseburgers were cute, they'd say you was big and bad too. Well, at any rate, the real story is really about a sneeze and a cup of sugar. You see, way long time ago in Once Upon a Time, I was going to bake a cake for my dear, sweet old granny's birthday. And I had a cold and I was sneezing a little, but I was baking the cake and I realized I needed more sugar. Just 1 cup of sugar. So I thought, I'll go to my neighbor's house and I'll borrow a cup of sugar. No big deal. So I went to my neighbor's house. Now, he was a pig. And he wasn't too bright either. He built his house out of straw, right?
Right.
Well, you know, think about it. Who on earth would build a house out of straw? Me? You're smart. You're smarter than that kid was. So I walked up there and I knocked on the door. The door fell in. Now, being a polite guy, I wasn't going to just walk in the neighbor's house. So I called, "Little pig, hey, little pig, you in there?" No answer. So I stood there for a couple minutes and then my nose began to itch. Ooh. And I huffed and I snuffed and I sneezed the biggest sneeze of all. And I looked there and that straw house was gone. Down on the ground. And there, in the middle of the rubble, was a pig. Dead as a doornail. You know, that little porker was in there the whole time when I was knocking on his door. Well, I was feeling a little hungry, and I thought it would be a total shame to leave a perfectly good ham dinner just lying there in the rubble. So I had dinner. By the time I finished my dinner, I was feeling a little bit better. I was feeling kind of full, and my cold wasn't so bad. So I decided to walk next door to the neighbor's house. Now, this guy was a pig too. He was the brother of the first pig, but he was a little smarter. He built his house out of sticks. Now, mind you, I walked up there and I rang the doorbell. And I rang the doorbell, no answer. So I called out, "Mr. Pig, hey, Mr. Pig, are you in there?" And you know what he said? "Go away, Wolf. You can't come in. I'm shaving the hair on my chinny-chin-chin." I told him I just wanted to borrow a cup of sugar for my dear old granny's birthday cake. Well, I stood there for a minute and I was jiggling that doorknob, wanting him to let me in, when all of a sudden I felt that sneezing coming on again. Whew! And I huffed and I snuffed and I sneezed another huge sneeze. I know you're not going to believe this, but that house fell down. It imploded down. And when all the dust cleared, there in the middle of that rubble was a dead pig. Dead as a doornail. Wolf's honor. So, I was thinking maybe I'll just go on home, get me out some crayons, and make my granny a nice birthday card. I still didn't have my cup of sugar. And then I thought about it. Everybody here knows that food left out in the open for a period of time will do what?
Spoil.
It will spoil. How could I possibly leave that food there to spoil? So I had dinner again. Yeah. really feeling full now, and Colt's feeling better. Don't look at me that way. You eat second helpings. You did it here tonight. Think of it as a second helping. So now I'm feeling better, and I thought, well, there's still one more neighbor down the street, and this guy happened to be the brother of the other two pigs. Well, he was the brains in the family. What did he build his house out of?
He built his house out of bricks?
Yes, very good, very good. He was the brains in the family. So I trotted on down there, and I knocked on the brick house. Boom, 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 boom. Hello? Anyone home? Mr. Pig? Hello? And a voice said, "Go away, Wolf, get out of here." I'm your neighbor. I just want to borrow a cup of sugar for my dear, sweet Granny's birthday cake, please. Get out of here, he said. He probably had sacks of sugar in there. Sacks of sugar. Wouldn't even give me one measly cup of sugar for my dear old Granny's birthday cake. Well, I pounded on the door some more and started yelling at him. And then, just about when I was getting ready to just walk away, here's what he said. "And you go tell your granny she can sit on a pin." Well, I'm usually a pretty calm fella. But when anyone says anything against my granny, I get a little crazy. Well, I started knocking on the door, pulling on the doorknob, huffing, puffing, sneezing like you wouldn't believe. And that's when the cops showed up. Well, news media came too, and they're saying, some guy here with a cold season wanting to borrow a cup of sugar. This is not a very exciting story for the media. So they wrote up the story about all this huffing, puffing, and blow your house down. That was all made up. I was framed. I was framed. That's the rest of the story. But would you loan me a cup of sugar?